Let's return to Remembrance Day now, and that news that the body of a soldier killed in action during the First World War has been identified in an unnamed grave in France more than a century after his death. The family of Lieutenant James Kennedy now know his final resting place, and he can be given the memorial he deserves. Joining me now is his grandson, Mark Kennedy. Mark, thanks for your time. What was your reaction when you heard this news?
Complete amazement, really, that someone was still taking the time and trouble to try and fill in the record, and the whole family was really pleased to think that there was some kind of recognition, because he'd been a mystery, a hero to his wife, and all we ever knew of him was stories, photographs, and memorabilia such as a bugle and a gold watch, bits and pieces from both his South African Constabulary service and AIF days. But
no doubt a figure that would have loomed large in terms of your, when you grew up, that the family folklore around him and his service would have been a big part of that.
Yes, he was, for kids particularly when Anzac Day came around, he was someone we could say, we knew someone, there was someone in the family who'd been there. But we knew very little, actually, because as kids you don't even think to ask questions, but also even my grandmother knew him for 8 or 9 months, and that was it, before he died on the front. So everything was very second-hand. Yeah,
it's an incredible story. I guess now, in some ways as well, once we get back to a bit of normality, it might even become now that you know where his resting place is, a place of pilgrimage for younger members of the family.
Yes, both my brother and sister commented that they'd really like to get over there and see the new headstone erected and with his name and some acknowledgement, because he simply disappeared from military records, which I tried to search in the 80s. They had no record, as with many others. He just disappeared in atrocious conditions.
They were atrocious, and as you said to start our conversation, a wonderful achievement for those involved in identifying and placing your grandfather and his resting place. Incredible.
Yes, the patience and the knowledge to trawl through the records and to cross-index things like his uniform, his location, and the fact that he was wearing decorations from the South African service. It was quite surprising that they had been able to achieve that 105 years after the event.
And now, as we reflect on Remembrance Day more broadly, Mark, it's an incredible story in that sense as well, because how many others would have experienced and suffered the same fate? It would have been countless numbers.
Oh yes, the War Memorial statistics on that whole front on the Somme and the individual records in the war diary for that particular battle. There's the percentage of casualties and just the thousands of people that were lost were just staggering.